The Big Show, starring Glenn, Angel, FD, and Sean. OneFm 91.3.
Let's Chat is brought to you by Singapore Together and MCCY.
The biggest stars. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Ladies and gentlemen.
The biggest names in music.
Oh, wow.
Big names, big songs, big guests, big prizes.
Well, it's a big show. Okay.
The Big Show.
Put your hands together for the one and only
Glenn, Angel, FD, and Sean.
That's what I'm talking about.
1FM 91.3. Good times, greatest hits.
Good morning, Singapore. Welcome to The Big Show and The Big Show TV. Yes, we are live on 1FM 91.3's Facebook page, and this morning we are honored to have with us the Minister in the Prime Minister's Office, Second Minister for Education, and Second Minister for Foreign Affairs, Minister Maliki Osman. Good morning, Dr. Maliki. Very, very good. Yes. Angel has recovered already, so we're all very, very happy.
I don't need to test for another 270 days till next July.
She's feeling like she's Cristiano Ronaldo now. Who got COVID twice, by the way. Isn't that... That is so crazy, right?
Where is he going?
Yeah. Anyway, thank you so much for being on the show, Dr. Maliki. Angel and myself are very happy to finally get to chat with you because Sean and FD got a chance to chat with you a few weeks ago at Wisma Geylang Serai, and you guys did painting and all that. You know, we were watching the video and you guys are having so much fun. So we felt a bit left out, like Angel and myself. So we're very happy to have you on the show this morning.
Although I felt like he copied his painting off another painting on the walls. So like, but the skill is there lah, doctor. No lah, copy lah, cheat.
Okay, let's chat. So, Dr. Maliki, what is Singapore Together about? Yeah. Yeah, because that's Singaporeans, right? They always have something to say. They want to say something. They want to contribute, right? I mean, all these years we've been doing radio, we know. Because that's, everyone wants a say. Everyone wants to make suggestions and all that. So this is fantastic.
And now they do. With COVID-19, it's created such a disruption to the lives of Singaporeans. How can we now better support each other, especially those from the lower income bracket, the lower income households?
Yeah, so there are many things that actually emerged out of COVID-19, apart from the fact that we all had to change our lives, adjust so many things. The ones who are affected most, the low income group, some businesses were affected, our gig economy workers were affected, many people were affected, and it really brought the best out of Singaporeans too. So quite a lot of people also wanted to do more for this group. They came together. Businesses who were doing better came forward and said they want to help children from low-income families. At that time, when we had circuit breaker, kids were doing home-based learning, and these were kids who previously were assisted with financial assistance for them to have their meals in school and through vouchers. But when they're at home, then what do? They need food too, right? So we had sponsors who came forward. Volunteers who came forward to deliver food. And so there's quite a lot of things that were going on. And this is really part of what we call getting people together, and we form alliances for action, groups coming together, and we facilitated them. So in the space of helping people affected by COVID, we had this alliance for action known as the SG Community Network, SG Cares Community Network. Really groups of community members in the community, where we group them together, we tell them where are the homes that needed support, or the kind of support that they need, and then we pair them up and we get them to go and visit those homes where it's safe, to make sure that the ones who are most affected do not feel alienated, do not feel that they don't know what to do or they can't proceed moving forward. So it includes people donating devices for home-based learning. It includes people helping to set up those devices so that low-income children can access their home-based learning. So during the COVID period, the SG Cares Community Network came into action, and today we have about 17,000 volunteers in this network.
That's a lot, yeah.
That's a lot, because you're talking about people on the ground, delivering food on a regular basis, knocking on doors to find seniors who may be lonely. And this EduCares network continues to go on at different phases of a COVID period. So, for example, during the early days about mask distribution, when we talk about distributing sanitizers, food, and subsequently reaching out to make sure that they are aware of vaccination, encouraging them to do vaccination. There are people in the network that are drivers. You have a pool of drivers who are always ready to send seniors who are immobile to vaccination centers to get their vaccination. So that's the kind of work that we do during this COVID period, encouraging people to be part of that network.
Well, it really is bringing Singapore together, isn't it?
It does, yeah.
I have a question now. You mentioned things like home-based learning and students from, the lower income households. How does the MOE support students from the disadvantaged families, and how can we make sure that every child will have access to good education in Singapore?
That's really one of the key principles of MOE. Thank you for the question, Angie. Angel, the essence really is that we want to make sure that every child, regardless of background, has access to good education and being able to harness his or her potential to the fullest. So that's the basic thing, right? And for those who are in the lower income group, in fact, we give a lot more resources to them at many different levels. In schools, we provide more resources for schools who have higher needs children, who come from different backgrounds, and those who start off a little bit not on the same footing. They're provided with educational support programs, for example, the learning support program for English, learning support program for mathematics. It's given at primary 1 level. We look at their abilities and we provide extra resources for them. At the same time, we also developed this program called Uplift. Uplift stands for Uplifting Pupils in Life and Inspiring Families Task Force. It's a task force that I lead, where we focus on children who come from disadvantaged backgrounds, who may be manifesting some challenges coming to school for various reasons. And the first thing we do is to understand their concerns, understand their needs, making sure they're able to come to school. Many a times, all the teachers tell me that if you get them to school, we will be able to support them. But sometimes they are challenged. We've heard stories of 10-year-olds being asked to look after 5-year-old siblings, and asked to come home immediately after school. And there are a lot of those challenges. So the Uplift program is a comprehensive program that looks at supporting these children. We support them through our engagement with the community. So, for example, community self-help groups are part of this program at the community level. We also, this is part, so Uplift is one of the Alliances for Action for Education, where we provide opportunities for members of the community to also help them. So we, in Uplift, we also have this Befriender program where we encourage people who like to connect with these children and families. We train them to be befrienders, and they are then deployed to help these families, help these children, either to mentor them, just to inspire them, to go to the home to read with them. There's just so much things that we can do in Uplift. And one of the things that we try to do also is to provide opportunities and access to after-school care. Because sometimes families have difficulties managing childcare arrangements, and so parents have difficulties going out to work because they've got maybe 2 or 3 children coming back from school. So we provide heavy subsidies to ensure that these children are able to access after-school care at very, very low fees, to ensure that at least they do have programs after school that they can do their homework, they can be mentored, and they feel that support is available for them.
Right. This is amazing stuff that we're finding out from you, Dr. Maliki. We are speaking to Minister Maliki Osman this morning on The Big Show. We'll continue to chat with Dr. Maliki on The Big Show TV. In the meantime, here's Go West, King of Wishful Thinking on 1FM 91.3. Yeah, I think it's so important to uplift the spirits of Singaporeans. I mean, these days, right? I mean, everyone has to be more understanding of each other because, I mean, these are difficult times that everyone is going through, you know.
And everybody is just getting a bit more sensitive.
Yes, exactly.
I think we all are.
It's like it's that experience of being under siege. Because especially when you work from home, you know, even at the community level, you have that sense, you know, that because people are working from home, all of a sudden you didn't realize you've got neighbors with children, and so you become very extra sensitive that children are running around and screaming while you are trying to do work, because most of the time previously you are at work. You don't realize that, you know, and you realize that suddenly your neighbor has got a special needs child who is being difficult to be controlled. So these are very difficult times for almost everyone, and we just live in a very densely populated area, so you know the proximity. You hear a lot of this, you know. So we have to manage it. We have to try to get people to come together. So local volunteers are critical. They're also stretched, but we try to help them to reach out to some of these families. I mean, neighborly dispute is one of those things that we have to do quite of late. And
it's so hard. I mean, these are trying times, as we just mentioned, and it's sometimes very difficult to be understanding. You know, everyone wants to be understanding, but everyone is going through something in their lives.
And they want to be understood.
That's true, Dr. Maliki, if someone wants to volunteer, where would they go? Who would they get in touch with?
The simplest is to go to www.sg. That's a site that people can just access, and a whole string of volunteer opportunities are there. So you just need to look at whether you're interested in the environment, you're interested in young children, you're interested in elderly, you're interested in disabilities. You just go to the website. They will direct you to all the different areas of interest that you may have.
You know, this Alliance for Action that you guys have. It's people who have got ideas that they think can improve Singapore, improve the lives of Singaporeans. If I have such an idea, if there's something I want to do, is www.sg the same place that I go to?
Yeah, so that's the first place you go to. First place you go to, and you connect with people who are in the space. And then you begin to converse with them, and then you will then be directed with like-minded people, so that you get an idea as to which are the groups that are already working on those ideas that you may have, or similar ideas. And that's where you then see that, wow, you know, there's a lot of things that's already going on, and you can latch on to those parts of the work. Or if you are very unique, for example, then of course the relevant agencies will be able to then connect you with their officers who then can pick up from the ideas that you may have.
Thanks for bringing that up, FD. I want to remind everybody to check out that website, www.sg. Such a
I mean,
unique
honest-
website, right?
You couldn't have got a better URL.
Yeah,
I mean,
man.
no one
Yeah.
can forget that.
It's fantastic.
I went to look at it and said to myself, maybe you're forgetting a .com, but no, you were right.
Yeah.
It's www.sg.
It's absolutely brilliant.
It's on our Facebook page already, so people
So
can just
good.
click from there.
Oh, great! That's nice.
Yeah.
And I think what it offers people is Singaporeans have spent a lot of time talking, complaining, getting angry, getting emotional, and now they have a place where they can go and attempt to solve these problems that they feel exist.
Yes.
And I
yes.
think that is really, really important because, and the idea of volunteering with you guys to me is great because the best way to understand what people are going through is to be among the people.
Yeah, for sure.
Yes. And you soon realize that it's more than just the lower income. It's more than just the down and out. You know, in my work, I'm also reaching out to people who live in private estates, elderly. You know, you see this empty nest group. You know, these retirees who are living in private estates. And their children are away. So when you visit them, you see where your kids, one is in Shanghai, one is in the US, and just the two of them there. And because they are semi-mobile or immobile, it's very difficult for them to get to places. So you need to figure, and social isolation is one of the things that we are always concerned with, you know, because you live in a big house, your access to networks may be limited. For you to go out, you have to walk all the way out to the bus stop. So you need to look at how do you reach out to them. So it's not just about looking at the needs of socioeconomically disadvantaged groups. But when we talk about needs, we really about the individual, you know, and there are groups who are reaching out to these groups also. So we have to reframe some of our thinking about those who are in need. So I always reframe it to tell people it's not about just the needy, because I always will talk about the needy.
Yeah.
We're looking at people with needs. And we talk about people with needs, they're varying group of people, and it's regardless of socioeconomic background, because needs are different to different groups of people.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's funny that you should mention empty nest syndrome because, I mean, FD and myself talk about it all the time. I mean, I have no kids, but, you know, I can just imagine if my kids are older and they go and do their own thing, you know, I think I'll feel happy. But FD,
No,
FD is scared, you know, he's scared of the empty nest syndrome.
No, you're only saying that because you have no kids.
yeah, like,
You know?
I'm like,
you know,
go and be independent. I want
Disturb me.
I've just gone through empty nest with my kids getting married and moving out, and
And if they're
it's
still
no
in
joke.
Singapore, it's still not as bad, you know, FD.
Yeah,
If they're here, yeah.
but it's still difficult.
I'm sure.
It's a difficult thing to go through. It's not easy at all.
too attached to your kids. You just
No, I don't.
That's
think
what
so.
parenting is about.
Yeah, exactly.
I just want to say this to all the parents. You know, I feel like parents sometimes they sacrifice so much for their kids, right? They forget to pamper themselves.
Take care of
Take
themselves,
some time, to enjoy yourselves as well. You think
Again,
that's
spoken from a non-parent.
but don't you think? But don't you think that's good advice? I see many parents. I mean, of course, their love and all that for their kids, but they must not forget about themselves as well.
It is good advice. I mean, but some people find it harder to let go. You know, and some people need that full house and the children
30
constantly there and all that, and that's why they have kids. And some have kids for various other reasons to look after them when they're older. You know, the different people do it for different reasons. So.
Okay, we're going to go for a traffic break and then we'll come back on radio again. I've got 2 more questions for you, Dr. Maliki.
Sure.
I hope we're not taking up too much of your time.
No. All ready for this.
Wonderful.
Happy to be here.
Okay, stand by.
1FM 91.3 traffic.
Well, we've got the usual delays across the expressways. A few areas to look out for. The PIE towards Tuas, a vehicle broken down after Toguan Road exit. AYE towards the MCE. We have a vehicle broken down before Lower Delta Road exit. TPE towards the PIE, a vehicle broken down after Pasir Ris Drive 8 exit. And on the BKE towards Woodlands, a vehicle broken down after the KJE exit, avoid lane 4. So if you've listened to the traffic report, you will understand the one problem that Singaporeans have is they don't service their vehicles enough. They keep breaking down. So please, if you're out and about, stay within the speed limit. Make sure you've got everyone in the car buckled up. Be safe as you drive today.
Good morning and welcome back to The Big Show and The Big Show TV. We certainly hope you're enjoying yourself if you're watching us on The Big Show TV exclusively. Or if you're listening to us on the radio, thank you so much for having us on. We have with us this morning Minister Maliki Osman, and we've been having a wonderful chat on and off the air.
Dr. Maliki, something just dawned on me. We were talking about volunteers earlier. Do you have an age limit for people who volunteer with you?
No, there's no age limit to volunteerism. Volunteerism comes from the heart. You have children as early as 7 being brought up by their children, by their parents, to volunteer, to elderly as old as 90 years old. So there's no age limit. It's really about what comes from the heart. And we acknowledge that there are different stages of life that people are able to volunteer, and that's fine. Because sometimes when you're in the peak of your career, you do have challenges with regards to finding and managing time. At some point in time, when if you're part of a network that is very, very gung-ho about certain things, then you chiong all the way. So there are quite a lot of different times of the life cycle where people can volunteer. And as far as we are concerned, in SG Together, it's really about coming right out from your heart, when and how you want to be part of this whole movement. Come and join us.
Dr. Maliki, can you get FD to be part of your volunteer team?
Most happy to. If FD is keen, in my work in Uplift, being a befriender to families who are disadvantaged, and it's really a very moving experience. When you talk about volunteerism, a lot of people see it from the perspective that I want to contribute, I want to make a difference in that person's life. But you'll be surprised to learn that you learn more about yourself. You learn that you are actually a beneficiary of that process too. And it's a growing experience for you. It's quite cathartic, because you suddenly realize, I didn't realize that about myself. Because you just had an experience with somebody whose life may be different. And it's really a moving experience because you begin to humble yourself at the same time. Yeah. And it's something very useful as we develop a society that's caring, compassionate. And I think that's something we really want Singaporeans to actually go through too.
Right.
I think everyone should volunteer at some point in their lives. Yeah.
Exactly. Because like for FD, he's a workaholic, you see. So I think,
something like this, would be nice. Yeah.
It would be an interesting break from the continuously at work.
From the routine, yes, absolutely.
You can always see volunteerism as part of your work.
That's true.
That is true, actually.
That comes naturally.
Yeah. I want to mention the website again because we mentioned the website just now on the Big Show TV. So for those of you who want to find out more, all right, you can go to www.sg. All right?
That's
so
it.
easy to remember. Go spread the word. Tell all your friends to check out the website, www.sg. Angel.
Yeah, it is a great website. It's got all sorts of topics from gadgets to nature to animals to food, helping the community. So as Dr. Maliki mentioned on the Big Show TV, if you do want to volunteer, that's where you go to put your volunteer recommendations in, and you can do that at www.sg.
All right. Now, Dr. Maliki, we were talking earlier on before we were chatting on the Big Show TV. I just want to follow up a little bit. Now, beyond putting in programs and safeguards in schools, all right, are there broader efforts to support disadvantaged students?
One of the things that we found necessary is that of coordination. We need to strengthen the coordination between different groups helping. Because sometimes you hear of instances where a disadvantaged family gets visits from so many different people. And they get a bit confused in terms of what do they do, because they're good-hearted people who come forward. So we need a lot of coordination. And sometimes they tell us that they face the challenge of navigating the system. You have an employment issue, you have to go to MOM for help, for example. You have a financial assistance issue, you go to the SSO. You have a school-related issue, you go to schools. There's so many different agencies. So what we are doing now is to kind of coordinate the effort in helping these families. So starting off with those in the rental flats, for example, we have this comlink concept where the social service officers actually help to coordinate the kind of help that's to be given to families in rental flats. We started with 1,000 families. Commonly is to be ramped up to about 14,000 households in rental flats. Even for uplift, I mentioned earlier, we are doing a lot more coordination. In the towns that we operate in our pilot project, we have this individual called the town level coordinators. So this person effectively is the go-to person for families who have challenges, and this person will then link up with all the different agencies. So the town level coordinator will look at the family needs financial support, will then link the family up to a social service office without the family having to be directed there. You just pick up a call and say, okay, there's this family who needs help. Can you look into this? And if the family has got a medical issue, and link up with the medical social worker for the family. So it helps the family kind of manage the complex systems that may be out there. And it also allows the families to see things clearly. That help given to them is a lot more coordinated, and even help from community organizations. So what's I think necessary is for us to do a lot more coordination to bring people together and to give the families the sense that help is more systematic and that there's some order in relation to the support given to them.
It takes a lot of legwork out because stuff like that can get so tedious and you're already going through such an emotional state, and to get everything done for you, it really helps you deal with your emotions properly without having to deal with sort of the administrative part of things.
Yeah. It can be very overwhelming for some of these families. Just imagine if you are working part-time, for example, you are working in a gig economy where there's so much uncertainty, as it were, and you have, say, 3 children of different age groups. Their needs are very different. And so dealing with all these things can be very complex, can be very challenging, and you need some kind of support to kind of organize your daily life. Volunteers coming in to show you how it's like to perhaps read to your children, and that empowers you too, because sometimes these families don't have the opportunity to even learn how to read to their children because they are just so overwhelmed with so many things to deal with in the first place, right? So the kind of linkages that we are able to coordinate will give them some sense of support and feel that, yes, this is a place where I can continue to raise my children and feel that my children can have a good future.
It's interesting having said that, Dr. Maliki, because what kind of Singapore do you hope these changes and these solutions that are coming through Singapore Together, the Alliance for Action, and other partnerships, what sort of Singapore do you see coming out of this?
I personally feel very, very enthused by this whole movement of Singapore Edge Together, because you see a future where ownership of Singapore belongs to everyone. It's not just about the government deciding what's best for Singapore. And that's the role of government, to develop programs, to design policies that's for the benefit of all Singaporeans. But there's also a role for Singaporeans to play. And I see a future where everyone feels that I have a stake in this country, I have a stake in this society, no matter how small it may be. I have a way to contribute, to make a difference in any way. Whether it is in the relation to the environment, whether it is in relation to helping people understand what it takes to save energy, whether it is just as simple as helping a neighbor do grocery shopping. I can make a difference in somebody's life. And I see that kind of vision. And I'm very heartened because many people have stepped forward and they are beginning to see opportunities there. They're beginning to see that this is the kind of Singapore that we want. And I think we can co-create the future of Singapore together.
Right.
It's almost like being a shareholder in a public listed company or something.
Indeed. I mean, you're citizens of the country. You are a shareholder of the country, and the future is yours.
Yeah,
very true.
Thank you so much, Dr. Maliki. I mean, it's, we've met up with a few ministers already. I mean, we've met up with Minister Indrani, Minister Amy Khor. Today we're talking to you, and we're so happy. We're so happy that we're given the opportunity to speak to you guys. And
but
very
thank
soon.
you Thank you for this opportunity to have this conversation. I find it very encouraging to be able to use a media like radio to be able to reach out to Singaporeans and tell them that they can come together and work together with us through this movement.
Right. And thank you very much for being on The Big Show. Because, The Big Show is the most trusted name in breakfast shows. Correct. So, thank you. It's been a privilege and an honor to have you on the show this morning, Dr. Maliki.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Have a good day. Stay safe.
Let's chat.
And we're back off air.
All right. Thank you so much, Dr.
Thank
Maliki.
you, Dr. Maliki.
Thank you, guys. Thank you. It's a wonderful session.
We hope to meet you in person soon. Yeah?
Yes.
All right.
I was
Stay
looking
safe.
forward to go to the studio, actually.
Yeah.
Us as well, but we thought, I think it's safer this way for now.
Yes, better be safe. Yeah.
Yes.
You take
All
care
right,
of
catch you
yourself.
guys again.
Please
Take
be
Thank
safe.
you so much.
Yeah.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. That's wonderful. We are awaiting
Coming in
our
soon.
next guest,
Emily Ong.
Emily
Yes.
Ong. And once again, folks, watching us on the Big Show TV right now, if you haven't donated to Dementia Singapore, please do so because, they need funds to run their organization to help more and more people who are living with dementia. All right, both people who are living with dementia as well as their caregivers. Okay,
Their caregivers,
so please go to onefm.sg/dementia and donate generously. Thank you.
And right now we've passed the $20,000 mark, which is absolutely
Yay.
great. Yeah.
Lovely. Emily! Good morning,
Good
Emily.
morning, Emily.
Okay,
You might. Is she
Just-
muted?
But she's not on mute, though. I don't
No.
see
Yeah.
the sign. Oh, we can't hear you, Emily.
We've been having
No,
you're
now you're
muted. If
muted.
you
Now you're
unmute, you'll be
muted.
fine.
audio problems the whole day today, huh?
You're muted.
Now you're muted.
Okay, wait.
Yeah,
there you go.
Okay, good.
Emily! Good morning,
Good
Emily.
morning.
Nice to see all of you. I often hear about the big voice of four of you. So it's a privilege to hear from personally having a conversation.
Right.
And now you get to see us as well.
Yes, correct. That is the nice part about being on virtual, isn't it?
Yes.
You can
it
see
is.
everybody, meet everybody.
Yeah.
How are you,
without
Emily?
even to move out of the house. But
Yeah.
the bad thing is you hardly exercise because you no need to move. You just sit.
That's true. How are you this morning, Emily?
Oh, I'm good. I have been up since very early because my work in advocacy we start very early because I work with global, so it's not just based on Singapore time. So sometimes I have to wake up at 4 a.m. in the morning because my first meeting start at 5.
Oh,
Which countries do you work
wow.
with?
Well, it can be from. It depends on the timing. It's from if 5 a.m. it will be from US, and if it's 7 a.m. Something around like that, then it will be some of the European countries. Yeah.
Yeah, the European countries are not as bad as
The US.
As the US.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, precisely. So our work time as an advocate, a global advocate, is that we work early in the morning before any Singaporean wake up, unless you are working in the hotel one, and we work very late at night, close to midnight. So it's just like the people who work in the clubs and KTV, they work past the night.
It's the nightlife people.
Yeah, so we have both worlds, and so sometimes you will see that by the morning I wake up and I start to function. Cross the midday, I'll be so tired already. Yes,
I can imagine. I can imagine. I mean,
we hardly have enough sleep.
Yeah. No, I mean, you guys, you are fantastic. Just take us, for example, all right? We wake up at like maybe 4:45 or 4:30. By the time afternoon comes, so tired already. Do you take like afternoon? Do you take afternoon naps as well?
Yes.
Or you take afternoon? Do you sleep in the afternoon?
About
naps?
half an hour nap, because if we sleep too much, then it will affect our sleeping habit.
Yes, yeah.
Because for us, people living with dementia, is that one thing our body system the biological clock get a bit haywire off. Yeah, so sometimes I will not be able to doze off to sleep and stay asleep. So sometimes it's just like 24 hours round the clock. My mind is active and I'm awake. So it will if when it comes, it will last for maybe 2 to 3 weeks, sometimes even to a month. So you can see that by then, and I'm not very functioning because once we don't have enough sleep, just like any one of us, and make it worse when you have a condition with dementia, when you don't have enough sleep, the body and the brain cannot really get rid of all the accumulation of the whole day activity, the oxidation and things like that. So that really deteriorates our cognitive functioning further.
Right. Okay.
Wow.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Emily, can I just
So
ask?
you guys make sure that you sleep, huh?
Yes, I know. Speak
good
to the
night.
guys. I get my sleep. You speak to the guys. They
Yeah.
never sleep.
Oh, yeah.
I was about to say, I mean, before we go back on the radio and we start, asking you some other questions, since you did mention, about sleep and how you need to get sufficient rest, what was your life like before you were diagnosed with early onset dementia? How was your lifestyle? Were you keeping late nights? Were you taking care of yourself?
Oh yes, I actually have a very healthy lifestyle, and even including my diet and things like that.
Okay.
And I was working with as a consultant and a learning consultant for children with special educational needs.
Oh, wow.
Yes. So I has been all the while in this field, so yeah. So when you are in the field of disability, you get to know about, what are the things that you need to do and what are the things that need to put in place. But when I think before, right, I think maybe 1 or 2 years before I was diagnosed with dementia, I started to have issue with staying asleep. Falling asleep is one thing. Sometimes people have the issue of falling asleep. My one is once you fall asleep, it doesn't stay asleep. It wake up.
Oh, I see.
So so I have that issue, and it was very bad. And actually, I didn't know that having insomnia of this type is increase your risk of getting a dementia also.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So if you have suddenly you have an onset of a very poor quality of sleep, it's time for you to see your doctor and get it, see what are the things that's causing you, and then do something about it, because it is not good for your brain.
Right. Don't ignore the signs. Yeah.
Wow.
Can I ask you a personal question, Emily? How old were you when you were diagnosed with early onset dementia?
50.
50. Wow. Okay.
50.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
So
And what
it's
were
not
the first
not
signs?
easy.
Not easy. What were the first signs to you that you had dementia, or was it? What did you notice about yourself?
Oh, actually, like I said, insomnia is one of them. But because currently the doctors are not very well versed in young onset dementia, because for us our symptoms is very different, and definitely it's nothing to do with memory. It's more like on the executive functioning. Like I'm very good in managing and multitasking and things like that. And suddenly I found that I'm not good with multitask. And also in organizing, planning and things like that, I take a much longer time.
Okay.
So it was during one of the
Emily, hold on, okay? We're going to go on the radio. We're going to ask you that question again, okay?
Oh, I see. Okay.
Stand by.
91.3 traffic.
Let's take a look at it. You've got the usual delays across the expressways. Look out for the BKE towards Woodlands, a vehicle broken down after the KJE exit. We also have the TPE towards the PIE, a vehicle broken down after Pasir Ris Drive 8. AYE towards the MCE, a vehicle broken down before Lower Delta Road, and on the PIE towards Tuas. a vehicle broken down after To Guan Road. So please, everybody, stay within the speed limit. Make sure you have everyone buckled up. Be safe as you drive today.
Good morning, Singapore, and welcome to The Big Show and The Big Show TV. Now, we've been chatting with Emily Ong. She is a person living with early onset dementia and is a dementia self-advocate. We've been talking to her on The Big Show TV, but right now, exclusively for the people who are listening to us on the radio. Once again, good morning, Emily, and thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you. Great to be here with all of you.
Now, Emily, earlier on the Big Show TV, we found out that you discovered you had early onset dementia at the age of 50, and I had asked you what were the first signs that you noticed to trigger you getting checked to see what was the matter, and then finding out you had dementia.
Okay. Well, for me, it's nothing to do with memory. It's because for us, young onset is very different. Our symptoms very different. And for me, is I have issue with my sleeping. Insomnia is one of them. And then the other thing that I have is with my executive functioning, like multitasking, planning. It takes me a long time to plan and get things organized. And but the thing that really hits me and that caused me to go for make an appointment to see a neurologist is none of that. Because when you go and tell a doctor that you have all these issues, that you are not so effective nowadays, and the doctor will normally rule it out as stress and things like that.
Right.
Yeah. So it was when I suddenly one day I'm not able to remember how to make French toast.
Oh wow!
Yes, my brain just completely go blank, and I can only know that I need a loaf of bread, and that's it.
Oh,
yes. So it was very scary. It's my first time I had this kind of episode, and it was a blessing in disguise actually, because my elder daughter at that time was first-year medical student, and she just happened to finish her module on this.
Oh wow!
And then she said that. And she wake up in the morning and she said, "Mom, I thought you said you're going to serve us with French toast, with caramelized banana, which I normally make.
Wow.
Then why it become, just bread and butter?"
right.
Yeah, so I told her that I don't know why, for whatever reason, I cannot remember how to make French toast. That is when it's a signal, a red flag. So she said that, "Okay, Mom, I don't think we can take this lightly. Because I just studied this. It is not a good thing." So so that is how it got all started. So it's a blessing that I have my daughter who is a medical student who just learned. It's not, I think for most of us, we will disregard. I said, "Oh well, okay, it's first time anyway. I never experienced before." So you will not go and do anything. And especially when our understanding of dementia is always about memory. The heavy emphasis on memory is a very bad thing, because it also delay people from taking the necessary action to go and see a doctor. Like for me, I have nothing to do with memory, right? So I will not go and see a doctor, and will not cross my mind that it's a dementia, and especially when I'm only 50 at that point of time. Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
You know, Emily, can I just ask you, in your opinion, how do you think Singapore fares in terms of dementia inclusivity? Which is why, we are talking to people who work with Dementia Singapore and all, because we want Singapore to be more of a dementia inclusive society. But in your opinion, based on what you see, how are we faring right now?
Oh, well, when you have the first survey, right, in 2019 by SMU and Dementia Singapore, it said that 3 in 4 felt that they are not respected and not ashamed to go out. That tells you where Singapore is in terms of inclusivity. Because one thing about inclusivity, which is what my advocacy is about at the global platform, is that when we talk about inclusivity, it's not about what you put in. I wear a tag, I'm a dementia friend. Or we put a lot of signages that is helpful for people living with dementia. It is a lot to do with the attitude. And that attitude is something that you have to be nurtured. And it has to be very strongly focused on, not on the physical aspect of inclusivity, but more on the human aspect of inclusivity. Like for example, certain places they will already declare that there are a dementia-friendly neighborhood and things like that. Whenever I go there, I really don't get the feel of being dementia-friendly. I can give you an example. When I was not able to what you call find the bear for taking the bus. I go to the customer service, and that station is supposed to be, dementia inclusive, and they have gone through dementia training and things like that. And the two personnel who were stationed there, when I asked them for help, they just gave me a look. Then I said, no, I really need a help to find where is the bus, what bus number, where can I board the bus. They just give, over there.
Oh.
Okay, that's not good.
No.
Yes. So, and then I said, no, when I ask you, I need help. I really need help. By you telling me that it's over there, it's such a long walk, and with so many people and with all the announcement, bus interchange is not a place that is easy to maneuver, especially when for us living with dementia, once we are anxious in a crowded place, it makes it worse.
Yes.
Our comprehension and putting things, making things, and even simple things like you might have the sign there, but when we have anxious, anxiety, attack, and things like that, all this doesn't mean anything to us anymore. We are not able to, make sense. Okay, this sign say like that. Okay, you go there. But if a person is kind enough and say that, okay, let me take you there, that will be a difference.
Yeah.
But when I pursue further, the two person just give me that kind of stare, like as if, I'm disturbing them. I have nothing better to do but to trouble them.
Right.
Yeah, that's terrible.
I hope the people who are in charge. This is you're talking about where is this place again?
Bus interchange.
Yishun bus
Yishun
Yishun,
bus interchange.
okay.
Yes.
Okay,
All
so
Guys, you need to-
SBS, is it SBS these days?
Don't know.
Well,
It's a
I don't
bus
know.
interchange.
It's a bus
Yeah.
interchange.
Yishun bus interchange, and all you bus interchange bosses or whatever, make sure
Yeah.
you go and tell all your people who are working there to be aware that there are people who are living with dementia or anyone else for that matter
Yes.
who needs help, to be more helpful.
Yeah. All
Yeah.
places should have training. Yeah.
Yes.
All.
Are there other than the mindset changes? Are there any other areas you think in Singapore need improvement when it comes to dealing with dementia people?
Well, other than the mindset is the language matters a lot when you talk about people living with dementia. Currently, is that the way people want to talk about us is that they take us as straight assume people living with dementia doesn't have the capacity to do things anymore, and we have no say and things like that. Give you for example that people like to use the word dementia sufferer.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Or we suffer from dementia. I mean, we do have our daily struggle living with dementia, but definitely we are not sufferer, or neither are we suffering. If we are suffering, I won't be talking here with you, and neither the whole world of people living with dementia will not be advocating if they are suffering, right? Yeah, so that words had to be changed, because once you continue to use that thing, the word, to describe, even though if you don't mean it, but you just pick up along the way, that lack of sensitivity really, puts down the people who are living with dementia, and they start to really believe that they are actually suffering, that life is nothing but doom and gloom, because that is what people see me as, and I better believe it because that is what it is. And that will impact the family members and also the primary care partners who are looking after. Then they will say, oh my God, this is really... So, to be very frank, when you receive a diagnosis of dementia, there is no sense of hope that is provided. it is just like it's a death sentence. And when an environment is not what you call it's not inclusive, it's not able to be accommodating to the changing needs of us because of our brain, the way our brain function, and it's not accessible for us. We feel like imprisoned by the environment.
The messaging needs to change. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yes.
So living with dementia is fine. Suffering from dementia is not. Okay. We are
Yes,
speaking
correct.
to Emily Ong. She is a person living with young onset dementia and a dementia self-advocate. We continue to talk to Emily live on the Big Show TV. In the meantime, here's Christina Aguilera, Genie in a Bottle on 1FM 91.3.
And we're on Facebook.
So do you, for example, at Yishun Interchange, right? Did you tell those girls that you are living with dementia, that you have dementia?
No, I didn't have a chance to do that because when I see people don't really want to attend to you and give you that kind of look, you feel that you better don't go and disturb them because they are too busy talking among themselves.
Right.
But
Doing something
I need
unimportant.
to tell you that I do have good experience when I was in this Citibank, one of the branch in Woodlands MRT interchange. There is a Citibank branch there, but I don't know whether is it still there, but there is a branch there. And because my mom stayed in Woodlands, so I went to visit her. And during one of these many days, I sort of ran out of cash, and I go to the ATM. But the problem is that I cannot remember my PIN. So you try many times. After a while, the machine sort of, well, it might be a stolen card. You are trying to get money out. So I lost my card. So I cannot retrieve. So I go to the because there are what you call their staff standing around. So I asked them. I said that I need to retrieve my card. How do I do that and things like that. And there was one guy, very young man, and he come up while I was talking to his colleague. He was standing nearby and he heard this in my conversation, and he come over and said that, "Ma'am, how can I assist you?" Well, I tell you, I was totally blown away. When I was so anxious, I said, "Oh my God, I'm going to meet my mom and I need to buy her a lunch and I don't have money with me. Now I even don't have a card with me."
Right.
Yeah.
That was
So
lovely.
yes, that was very lovely. So I told that guy, because he is so forthcoming and so gentle. So I feel sad to disclose that I'm a person living with young onset dementia. So I told him that, I am living with young onset dementia. What basically is saying that when I need your help because I am now my mind is not able to function very well because I'm very anxious and I lost my card and I need you to support me by giving me guidelines, direction on how I can retrieve my card by writing it down or something, not just verbal instruction. Then he said, it's okay, man. Go come. I take you to a quiet corner.
Oh, wow.
So nice.
Okay.
Yes, a quiet corner. Then I said, that would be so nice. Yeah, I take you a quiet corner. You get yourself calm down first, and then I come back to you.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
I tell you, that is top notch.
Fantastic.
That's the
Fantastic.
Yes. And then I'm and then he guide me through, step by step. And then when you had to enter your new password, right? The PIN number and things like that, he will say that, now I give you a piece of paper, you write it down.
Yeah.
And then he press away for me to write and I key in. And then they will ask you to what you call confirm, is it? Something like that. And then of course these when you are in my position, all this extra thing asking for confirm and thing is really freaking me out. Okay, confirm what double confirm and things like that. Then I say, excuse me, what is this saying? Oh no, it's okay. This one just said you just retype whatever that you just type in. Oh, okay. Then he press away and let me do. And then after that, from there, he handled everything for me.
Wonderful.
And then at the same time, he not just tap me there and say, okay, I do this all for you. But he let me stand beside and he tell me what is he doing. So that I am being part of the process. And then after that, and then he asked me, how much do you want to draw? I will no, we will do this. You no need to go to the ATM and do it. You know, we will retrieve your card at the same time, draw the amount that you need. And then I told him that I cannot use big notes. I'm not good with $50 notes now. So all my bills, if you happen to have a cup of tea with me, I will tell you that I only have $10 and $5 notes. So my wallet is only $5 and $10, and which is normally my younger girl who do all this for me. Yeah. So then he said, yeah, okay, I will tell the teller that this is the amount that the dollar notes that you will need to use. Yeah. So so I tell you, the greatest sadness that I have is that I didn't remember his name. Yes, I should ask him for his card so that I can write a letter to the company, to the Citibank, and upload this stuff.
So lovely.
Yes. And I tell you, and this kind of stuff is the one who is actually can conduct the training for the company.
Right.
Because there is nothing that is more powerful than your own staff being the main person behind conducting the training. Then a Dementia Singapore. Dementia Singapore or whoever can come in to support. But the main person who conduct the training should be this
should be someone that's on the ground. Yeah,
Yes.
he knows what kind of customers come in and the questions
And
that are
obviously
asked.
someone who has the heart, someone who's sincere. That's very, 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 very important. Citibank, are y'all watching? Well done.
Good
yeah,
job.
well done. Really well done. Yeah.
So everybody, don't be
Woodlands.
like Yishun Bus Interchange. Be like Citibank.
Woodland Citibank, yes.
Yes. Okay. Emily, thank you so much for joining us today. It's been a pleasure speaking to you. And, we certainly wish you all the very best. And I think this means a lot to everyone and their families who are living with dementia to see you come on the show today and, speak for them and speak up for them as well.
Yeah,
Thank
and
you,
even for
thank
those that don't live with anyone with dementia, it's good to know the signs in case we run into anyone, in public or anyone who needs help. At least we know some of the things that we can do to help.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, thank
correct.
you so much for sharing.
Thank you, Emily.
Thank you.
very
Thanks
much.
for having me here.
You have a wonderful
Thanks,
day
Emily.
ahead and take care of
Stay
yourself.
safe.
Yeah.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Once again, that was Emily Ong. She's a person living with young onset dementia, I beg your pardon, and dementia, a dementia self-advocate. And we would like to invite everyone to log on to onefm.sg/dementia and make a generous donation. Thank you so much. We are now joined by our entertainer extraordinaire, Johan Lee.
Good morning.
It's Johan Lee.
Don't lie, your microphone's working. Don't pretend.
Yeah. We can see you're not muted. You know that, right?
Right. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
morning.
Oh, I see the reverb is
that's
on.
why,
Right, I
Oh,
can hear
yes.
that the reverb is on now.
Sorry.
Yeah,
So, how's everybody?
very good.
Everyone's good.
I think very soon you'll be able to sing, out there again because now.
Oh yeah. So next week I've got one big news.
Oh, tell
okay.
us.
Next week.
Oh, tell us
you're
next
going
week.
to
Okay,
announce-
okay.
Going to announce that
A week in advance, sure.
that these restaurants and stuff
Live
like that, they're going to
performances?
allow live performances again. That's
Careful.
That's what
Stop
he's gonna
spreading
do.
rumors.
No,
I don't think so.
Stop it.
I gotta tell
spreading
you.
the news.
Stop spreading rumors.
So you've got big news next week. I completely forgot to do this. I was going to do this earlier this morning.
What? Someone's birthday you forgot.
Hey, no.
My grandson
Uh-huh.
goes into national service today.
Oh, wow! Congratulations!
He goes into national service. 11 o'clock, he's got to report to home team just down the road from my place.
Oh, that's not so
Okay.
far.
Are you going to be there?
CDF. You can't.
No.
I don't think you can.
Can't you like wave?
Can't,
or
can't. I think
Not
it's only his
anymore.
take
mother
some
that can go down with
pictures?
it.
Are you like one of those crazy grandfathers that like has to
No,
take photos and
no.
like?
No, but it's so
can go
funny.
for his
I decided to
POP.
have this lunch with him, right?
Yeah.
Before he goes in and talk to him about going in a boy, coming out a man.
Steady
And
lah.
in the
That's why.
and in the end, it was just sitting down, eating, shooting the breeze, and talking about his childhood.
Oh.
We never got around to going in a boy and coming out a man, but yeah, he's totally looking forward to it.
No
Oh,
worry,
that's
man.
great.
No worry.
Wow.
Yeah, he will
For now.
enjoy it. Yes.
I think he will.
Knock it down 20!
Recruit.
Oh yeah, sorry. Recruit.
Recruit.
Wow, even worse, man.
That's why. Scum of
Yeah.
the earth.
Do they
But he's-
still
he's-
punish them
he's-
like that? Isn't it not like
20,
get
so
on your
that's the
phone
max.
and like?
I don't know. He's doing police though. He's with police,
Oh, he's
so I'm not
with the
sure
police,
how.
right,
that
okay.
goes.
Police.
Yeah, he's doing police.
Oh my god.
Glenn,
Stop.
keep your
Glenn,
comments to
my
yourself.
grandson, shut up.
Glenn, yeah, keep your
You
comments
should
to
go in
yourself.
the army lah, not
If
the
you have
police.
nothing nice to say, don't say
You've got
anything.
nothing
at all.
nice to say,
Yeah.
don't say.
I want
FD.
to do
Glenn?
pull-ups.
Hang on.
Yeah.
FD,
Uh-huh.
do you feel old?
Damn old man.
Why would you? You guys
When
are terrible.
your
in real life.
grandson goes international.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Like, wow.
But I'll tell you, you can't imagine how proud I feel.
Yeah.
Oh,
but you know what?
that's great.
Just let
That's
you know,
great.
like FD, the police is not considered national service.
Glenn,
Yes,
stop it.
Glenn.
Unless you're
must-
Star Force or what.
You must go out there in the jungle or whatever, right?
Correct,
Isn't
of
it now
course.
like no? Are there still jungles that they go out into?
You still
Yeah,
train
yeah.
there.
They-
No lah, FD's grandson will be in the neighborhood police post.
See, now they do
Chukang
police
one.
post, you got
Some
you got
training
report,
that happens.
report to
Yeah,
do.
yeah, yeah.
Sit
There's
down
a lot
3
of
hours, you
training.
fella type, then he turn on. Sir, this one your name. 3 hours you wait there. That's all they do.
Plus,
You all are
he
horrible,
won't even
man.
need
You
to
all are
walk.
really-
He'll be riding a bicycle.
Can wear
In
shorts.
shorts. Yeah, in
Okay.
shorts, man.
Oh
You
my
know,
god.
I really thought, with the exception of Angel, I really thought
Yeah.
this team would be proud. you
No,
know?
well done, FD.
No, no,
yeah,
it's just
well
that,
done.
it's just
I
that
I wish him all the
because we're all
best.
from
You
the
don't have
army,
to
so
listen
we're
to any
not,
of them. You
we're
don't
not-
listen to Glenn. No,
we're not
you
used
don't
to
listen to Glenn.
anything
Just
else.
listen to my voice.
That's what you say,
Listen to
NS,
my
I'm
voice. The
thinking,
female
yes,
voice is
put
all
on
you
the
need to
core,
listen
you
to.
know what I
Glenn,
mean?
keep quiet.
Okay. All right, it's time
He's
to sing.
meditating now.
I can do the 30 seconds song now 9 o'clock.
It's okay lah, it's good lah. One song. All right, come on.
Okay. Because today is a special day.
Play with police ah.
Today,
He's in
There's
the
someone from the
army
police.
now. Whoa,
Hey,
he's
someone
in
from the police,
the
huh?
army.
Gosh,
oh,
stop
sorry,
it.
not
He's
army.
in the police
sorry,
lah.
today is a special day.
Something from Police Academy. Come on.
Today is my 3rd year wedding anniversary.
Oh, wow, happy anniversary!
You feel
Happy
old now.
anniversary. Not to
Today.
take anything away from you. Yesterday was my 7th, so.
Oh wow!
Oh, happy anniversary!
Challenge,
Happy
oh, challenge, oh.
anniversary.
And I'm not happy that you're going to Australia.
Oh, that's
Jealous.
well
So
too bad. I
jealous.
don't really care. I'm sorry.
Damn it!
Can we do a universal song that's for FD and for Angel and for yourself as well? Because I mean, it's. I think the common theme here is love.
Love.
Huh? Right?
Oh, lovely.
I love this Bon Jovi song.
I also don't know what song this is. This is Hotel California.
Whenever I'm weary from the battles that rage in my head, you make sense of madness when my sanity hangs by a thread. I lose my way, but still you seem to understand. Now and forever, I will be your man. Sometimes I just hold you, too caught up in me to see. I'm holding a fortune that heaven has given to me. I try to show you each and every way I can. I will be your man. Now and forever, I will be your man.
Yeah.
So be a man.
Be a policeman.
All I said was, when he goes in the police force, if I said, if I ever get into trouble with the law, you know who I'm going to call.
You know,
Oh
the
wow, I like the foresight.
yeah. The next time I see him, you know what I'm going to call him? Hey, James Lai!
Oh my God, Glenn, that's a lovely cap accessory.
Oh, yeah. So nice.
Let's see you
right?
walking around all day with that.
It's not like I'm in trouble or anything like that. Huh? I'm not asking for help.
Looks like you are.
That's the way, yeah.
I don't think you need to do the action, just that.
Okay, thank you so much, Johan, for joining us, and congratulations once again on your third anniversary. And congratulations, Angel, on your seventh anniversary.
Thank you very much.
And congratulations to your grandson for enlisting. He's going to be a man now.
He's going to be a man now.
Well done.
And he's going to take care of all my fines.
Oh, he's dead.
It jumped.
Jumped.
I don't want to be here no more. Bye.
I forgot. Okay. All right.
We all check out together.
All right.
Bye. Share the
Bye,
video.
Johan. Thank you. Share the video.